Here's what they don't tell you. Each type carries its own chemical signature, its own vulnerabilities coded into every cell. Let me show you what you're actually carrying. Type O, 43% of the population. The oldest blood type, evolved when humans were still hunters. Universal donor, they call it, because O negative can save anyone. But Type O people bleed longer when cut, lower clotting factors. They also get ulcers more than any other type because a specific stomach bacteria loves their blood. And mosquitoes, they can smell Type O blood through your skin from 50 feet away, 85% more attractive to insects than Type A. The trade-off? Malaria can't stick to Type O blood as easily. Lower rates of severe infection. Your ancestors survived plagues that killed everyone else. Type A, second most common at 40%. Emerged when humans started farming, settling down, eating grains. Their digestive systems evolved to process plant matter better than Type O. But here's the cost. Type A blood is thicker, stickier, higher risk of blood clots, heart disease, certain cancers. Specifically, stomach cancer. Type A has a 20% higher risk than other types, and they produce more cortisol under stress, which means anxiety isn't just in your head, it's in your blood. Type A people also catch colds and flu more easily. Norovirus specifically targets their cells. The receptor sites on Type A blood cells let that virus latch on like a key in a lock. Type B, only 11% worldwide. Evolved in the Himalayas, adapted to extreme climates and nomadic life. More flexible immune systems than A or O. Better at adapting to new environments and foods. The dark side? Type B has higher rates of autoimmune diseases, lupus, multiple sclerosis, chronic fatigue. That flexible immune system sometimes turns on itself, and Type B people are more vulnerable to E. coli infections, specifically the strains that cause urinary tract infections and kidney damage. Then there's Type AB, the rarest at less than 5%, only showed up about 1,000 years ago. The genetic result of Type A and Type B populations mixing. Type AB is a biological contradiction. They inherit both the strengths and weaknesses of A and B. Lower stomach acid like Type A, which means they struggle to digest meat. But they also have the adaptive immune system of Type B. The strange part? Type AB has the lowest rates of allergies. Their immune systems don't overreact to environmental triggers. But they have 30% higher memory loss as they age. Increased risk of cognitive decline and dementia. Nobody knows exactly why yet. Now here's where it gets darker. That positive or negative after your blood type. The Rh factor. 85% of humans are Rh positive. 15% are negative. If you're Rh negative, your blood is missing a protein that everyone else has, which means during pregnancy, if you're Rh negative and your baby is Rh positive, your body sees that baby's blood as an invader. Your immune system tries to attack it. That's not metaphorical. Without medical intervention, a mother's body will produce antibodies that cross the placenta and destroy the baby's red blood cells. Second pregnancies get worse. Third pregnancies, the body remembers. Rh negative people also have slightly lower body temperature, higher IQ on average, and they can't be cloned. Seriously. The Rh negative factor makes cloning fail in ways scientists still don't fully understand. So you're not just Type A or Type O. You're carrying a genetic fingerprint that determines how your body fights disease, processes stress and responds to the world around you. And most people never know what they're carrying until they're bleeding out and someone asks. But here's where it gets even more disturbing. Beyond those 8 major types, there are over 30 known blood group systems, and hidden in there, golden blood. They call it Rh null. Fewer than 50 people on Earth have it. Their blood is missing all Rh antigens completely, not just the one most people are missing when they're Rh negative, all of them. Golden blood can save anyone with a rare blood type. Universal donor for the rarest cases, which means if you have it, hospitals want your blood more than they want anyone else's. But here's the cost. If someone with golden blood needs a transfusion, they can only receive golden blood, and there are only 9 known active donors in the world. So if you get in a car accident in the wrong country, you die, because your blood is too rare to save you. People with Rh null also have chronic health issues, anemia, fatigue, organ stress. Their red blood cells are fragile, break down faster. The same thing that makes their blood medically priceless also makes their bodies work harder just to stay alive. Now let's talk about inheritance, because this is where people get confused. Your blood type comes from 2 genes, one from each parent. A and B are dominant. O is recessive, which means 2 type O parents can only make type O children. But 2 type A parents can produce a type O child if they're both carrying a hidden O gene. That's why a kid with type B blood can come from 2 parents who are both type A. One of those parents isn't the biological parent, the math doesn't lie. And this is where blood typing has destroyed families. Before DNA testing, blood type was used in paternity cases. A type O mother and type O father have a type AB child? Genetically impossible. Someone's lying, or someone made a mistake at the hospital. But here's what makes it even darker. Blood type affects which diseases target you at a molecular level. Type A has higher rates of stomach and pancreatic cancer. Not by a little, by 20 to 40% depending on the study, because cancer cells express A antigens on their surface. Your immune system sees type A markers and thinks everything is fine. Meanwhile, the tumor grows. Type O people have lower risk of those cancers, but higher risk of bleeding disorders and ulcers. And here's the trade nobody talks about. Type O individuals have better outcomes if they get COVID. Lower rates of severe illness, less likely to need ventilation. The virus binds to A antigens more effectively. Type O blood doesn't give it as many places to latch on. Type B and AB have higher stroke risk. Their blood is thicker, clots more easily, which is great if you're bleeding out, terrible if a clot forms in your brain. And then there's memory. Studies tracking thousands of people over decades found that type AB individuals have 82% higher risk of cognitive decline. They develop thinking and memory problems earlier than other blood types. The mechanism isn't fully understood yet, but the correlation is undeniable. Your blood type also determines how you metabolize food. Type O evolved eating meat, high protein. Their stomach acid is stronger, digestive enzymes are different. Put a type O person on a vegetarian diet, and their body struggles. Inflammation increases, energy drops. Type A evolved with agriculture, lower stomach acid, better equipped for grains and vegetables. Feed them a high-meat diet, and their cardiovascular system starts breaking down faster. This isn't about preference. This is about your digestive system being coded for specific fuel, and most people are eating wrong for their blood type every single day. Now here's what nobody wants to admit. Your blood type influences your lifespan. Type O individuals live longer on average. Lower rates of heart disease, certain cancers, blood clots. Type A has the shortest life expectancy, higher disease susceptibility across multiple categories. Type B and AB fall somewhere in the middle, but here's the pattern underneath all of this. Blood type isn't random, it's evolutionary survival strategy. Type O dominated when humans were nomadic hunters, high-protein diet, constant movement, exposure to parasites. The blood that survived was aggressive, clotted slowly, fought off malaria. Type A emerged with farming, settled populations, grain-based diet, different disease pressures. The blood that survived processed plants better, clotted faster to handle injuries from tools and animals. Type B developed in harsh mountain climates, extreme temperatures, nomadic lifestyle, need for adaptability. The blood that survived was flexible, resistant to environmental stress. Type AB is the newest, only 1,000 years old. It showed up when populations mixed, when A and B genes combined. It's still figuring out what it's supposed to be. That's why it's rare. That's why it's contradictory. So when you look at your blood type, you're not just seeing A positive or O negative. You're seeing the genetic memory of what killed your ancestors and what they survived. Every disease vulnerability you carry exists because it was the lesser evil. Type O bleeds longer, but survives malaria. Type A clots too easily, but survived when farming replaced hunting. Type B gets autoimmune issues, but adapted to climates that killed everyone else. Your blood type is a compromise between death by infection and death by internal malfunction. And you inherited whichever compromise let your family line survive long enough to produce you. That's the brutal truth about blood types. They're not neutral. They're not just labels. They're survival strategies coded into your cells. And they're still deciding which diseases get to kill you and which ones your body fights off without you ever knowing. So the next time someone asks your blood type, understand what you're really telling them. You're not just saying A or B or O. You're revealing which ancient threats your DNA learned to survive and which modern diseases are hunting you right now.